I am LaMarsha Lewis. Let's talk Wednesday, March the 3rd, 2021. This will be just a little short, brief commentary. I wanted to give some commentary and a shout out to Sunny Hostin, one of the View co-hosts. Today they had the U.S. Secretary of Energy on the show, and Sunny Hostin made notable about the water crisis issue that's going on in my state, the state of Mississippi. We, as many people around the country, especially the South and various parts of the country, 2 weeks ago was under a snowstorm, and it was very severe that it pretty much shut down everything in our schools, work. A lot of people, if you didn't have to work, didn't have to get out in those snowstorm, the ice conditions 2 weeks ago, we were advised not to. But the most severe county or residents of the state of Mississippi was that in Hinds County, our capital area, Jackson, Mississippi. It was hit the hardest, but we've had this problem in Jackson, Mississippi for quite some time, and I don't understand why the problem has not been corrected or rectified, because again, this has been an ongoing issue with the water. Whenever we have like inclement weather, just like the ice snowstorm we had a couple of weeks ago, or any bad weather that affects the pipes and all of this, the residents and citizens of Jackson, Mississippi just have the worst case, and we need something done about that. I plan to do some other commentary because I saw where the Mayor Chuck William was on CNN, so I wanted to do some commentary about that and just various other things. But again, this is just to say to Sunny Hostin of The View, I really admire you. I have much respect for you, and what I love most about you, you're using your platform to speak for many of us, especially the African American race, people of color that don't necessarily have a platform to speak for ourselves. You are being an advocate for us, and just me, myself, I want to say thank you. I thank you so much. I thank you for, like I say, the conversation that you said. I was just so surprised when I heard Jackson, Mississippi. I'm like, Mississippi is being talked about on The View. The mayor of Jackson is on CNN. What is this really saying for us, our state? And then we have a governor who has lifted or encouraged to have full 100% capacity for business, not requiring people to wear masks. It's just crazy. But thank you to Sunny Hostin. So let's listen to this clip with Sunny and Secretary Granholm, I believe is how her last name is pronounced.
Earlier has also reportedly left tens of thousands of mostly black residents in Jackson, Mississippi with no running water for over 2 weeks now. That's a story we just aren't talking about enough. They don't have clean drinking water. They can't bathe or even flush the toilets. Many residents can't afford bottled water and are really frustrated that there's no accountability. I mean, with the priority being energy profits over people, our infrastructure, I think, is out of date all over the country, and the intentional, really environmental destruction of poor black towns is racial inequity and climate change something that the Biden administration is going to address?
1,000%. In fact, he's got an initiative called EJ, Energy Justice 40, meaning 40% of the benefits of clean energy investment must go to communities that have been left behind. I come from Michigan. Flint had a different but similar problem in terms of drinking water. Old pipes in Mississippi's case that burst as a result of lack of upgrading of the infrastructure, and it disproportionately happens to communities of color. So this administration is going to put forward a jobs package after this COVID climate bill gets through, and you better believe that there is a commitment to make sure that that infrastructure is invested in the places that need it most, particularly in Black, in Indigenous in communities of people of color, and communities that have been left behind, poor communities where there has not been the investment that is necessary. This is a jobs play, but it's also a moral play that we must invest in communities that have been left behind.
Well, I certainly, again, I wanted to say thank you to Sonny. And yes, this is basically for poor Black communities where we don't have, they don't have the necessity. You got, I mean, people can't, like Sonny pointed out, can't flush their toilet. Some people can't afford bottled water. I know there have been a lot of areas where they have been giving out bottles, like packages of bottled water, but that can only go so far. The problem needs to be resolved. This is something that has been ongoing for years and years, and it was really the most severe since this recent ice storm, and it have left citizens in Jackson without water, without being able to have the necessities that they need. And it's not fair. It's just simply not right. And as Sonny said, it's not being talked about enough. So again, thank you, Sonny, for using your platform, because I just want to say thank you for speaking about my state, Mississippi, the water crisis in the poor Black community, poor Black people, the lack of having the necessity that they should have, because no one seems to care when it's in the Black community. That's what it's really just got to be honest about. It's the Black poor community where because citizens, white communities, or the upper white people, they're not having this issue. It's where it's a lack, and no one seems to really want to fix the issue. And it's time that this issue get resolved so it won't happen again. So thank you to Sonny Hostin of The View. I'm a advocate fan. I have much respect for you, and I admire you so much. And I just want to give, did it on social media, but I want to give my condolences to you and your husband Manny and the entire Hostin family in the loss of Manny's parents due to the coronavirus. You all are in my heart and in my prayers, and I give my condolences. Thank you so much. I'm LaMarsha Lewis. Let's talk.